After a two-game skid in Hollywood, Arizona State looked to rewrite the script Friday night against Utah. The match was fairly anticlimactic as it resulted in a 0-0 draw between the two schools. The Utes dominated the first 20 minutes of the match with their ball movement and high level of physicality. However, this aggressiveness served to the Utes' detriment in the latter part of the first half, when the Sun Devils found their rhythm and began to apply heavy offensive pressure. ASU had 9 shots and 5 corner kicks in the first half. Nevertheless, goalkeeper Casey Wardle stifled the Devils from finding the back of the net. Not to be outdone, Pauline Nellis thwarted the hefty offensive attacks from the Utes with 9 saves in total on the evening. The high physical demand of the match was taxing on both sides throughout, especially in the second half when Ryan Cole was dealt a red card following an altercation with ASU's Kiri Matthews. The wear and tear of the match continued from there as ASU defender Liska Carlier went down with an injury after an outstanding defensive performance. Carlier would not return to the pitch. Head coach Graham Winkworth weighed in his opinion following the conclusion of the match.
I care about the players more than anything else, so I want them healthy. And I'm not going to put them at any type of risk from a health standpoint. I love them too much. But ultimately, no, I care about them. I'd rather lose games than they be 100% healthy and feeling good about themselves. That won't change, but hopefully we can win some games along the way as well.
Through a combination of match stoppages, penalties, and injuries, the Sun Devils were unable to muster enough to pull out the victory at home tonight. But above all, the big issue for ASU was the lack of communication.
I think we just needed a little bit more of communication. I think there was not a lot of, shoulder checking and also just communication from behind to make sure that we're covering those passes into the midfield. We've been working on cover shadow, making sure those passes don't get through, and I just don't think we did as well on that today. But we can work on that in training with upcoming weeks and hopefully do better when we play Washington next week.
The Sun Devils will now hit the road yet again, this time on a trip up to the Pacific Northwest, where they will take on both Washington and Washington State, before rounding off the season with a 3-game homestand. From Tempe, Blake Neiman, Cronkite Sports.